into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by at CenturyLink Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Rams, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Second down, Kaiser. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Kevin King with a pick, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them, in a sense, and gotten the ball from them.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Off play action. Boom. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, trying to start it out with a bang, but it's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has...
This is caught inside. Cooks. His 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
Now a second down throw for Kaiser. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
On third down, it's Carson, and he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week, 22 carries, 95 yards.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space, because the defense will key on them.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They go play action here on first down. He's letting it fly for Cooks. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the line. Here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Kevin King with a pick, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. He's letting it fly for Cooks. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Well, you got a receiver here who's got one touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Off the play fake. He's letting it fly for Cook. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. And a very good return as he takes us all the way up to the 35-yard line.
And as a defender, if you go with 2 interceptions in a game, that's pretty rare in the NFL. You might see one guy a weekend do that. But to have 2 in the first quarter, that's something you don't see all that often. I have a feeling they'll think twice about throwing in his direction too often.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, and now he bowls him over. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Kaiser now on 2nd down. Incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
3rd and long for Kaiser. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Darren Lee. Able to run him down for a 15-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to take another shot here. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Brandon Cooks with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that. They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Kaiser now. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 35. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10. Ooh. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Off play action. Boom. That's going to be caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Brandon Cooks, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Rams add on to their lead. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward. But they kick it here, and it's good. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And a nice gain of 21 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that advantage.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting out of it.
Here's Carson. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a gain of 5, but they're still deep in a hole. 15 yards still to go on 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw is Kaiser. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. Charles, I don't know what's going on in that defensive team meeting room, but they better keep it rolling. 3 picks last week, 2 here now in the first quarter.
Everyone talks about creating turnovers and getting takeaways, but until it gets put into action, it's just talk. And right now, it's in action and in a big way. Now they've got the receivers wondering if they have to turn around and play more defense instead of running routes trying to take the ball downfield.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Ohio!
Off the play fake. Boom. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Brandon Cooks. What is going on here? 4 first-quarter touchdowns. Unbelievable. And the Rams add on to their lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And it'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 25. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Now a play fake here on first down. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Brandon Cooks with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Rams have got it on cruise control. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good.
Brandon, remind me again, this is a rookie quarterback we're seeing?
A rookie indeed.
I mean, because my eyes are telling me something I'm having trouble believing. 5 touchdown passes. He's thrown 5 in this game. Are you kidding me?
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see when they decide to do a play caller. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. A quick throw here, that's complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
And this is Ertz with it, right side. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Brandon Cooks and the rest of the offensive crew trotting back into place out there. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done and in a big way.
It's caught inside the 25. And he makes it all the way down to the 19. A huge play that time for the Rams. 59 yards. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. They'll run it now out of the gun. Really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Come on, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here we go. What? 90.
On third down, Kaiser. And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. That one goes for 29 yards on third down.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch. One-handed, I might add, to pick up a first down.
I was going to say on third down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just kind of shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the first. Stops short of the 25. The nice move couldn't ultimately free him. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And it'll be intercepted. Kevin King with a pick, and he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. Because if you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who've gotten 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently, since 2000, Delta O'Neal and D'Angelo Hall.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time. But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Fletcher Cox getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Here we go. Brand 38.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Here we go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. Now he'll go deep down the middle. It's caught at the 10. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Nothing conservative about that play call. You said earlier in the quarter you wanted to see them open things up, maybe take some shots downfield. There you go.
Yeah, that one was successful. But even if they're not successul, when you take those shots downfield, they've got to back off a little bit, loosen up a little bit on defense, and give you a little bit more room if you want to run the football.
A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. The Seahawks were the most penalized team in the NFL last year, more than 9 a game, and now they've got 1st and 15. Kaiser to throw it. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Fletcher Cox in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll make it 3rd and goal.
Here we go. Brad 38. Brad 38.
From the gun, Kaiser. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
East side. And got his man complete. The 30. Past the 20. Touchdown, L.A. Brandon Cooks with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Rams just continue to pour it on. And that's the type of play that'll give your sideline some juice, a long touchdown pass.
And it's like a bolt of lightning, isn't it? That suddenness of that play brings everyone to their feet in the stadium, and he takes it all the way to the end zone. Give him credit for making that type of a play call, even more credit for how they executed it.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Here we go. Brad 38. Brad 38.
They'll toss it out to Carson. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Kaiser now to throw on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know. But all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
They'll throw here. Kaiser. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, L.A. That pick six extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And his pass incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Kaiser, Baldwin with it over the middle. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. On third down, it's Carson across the 30 to the 31-yard line. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 20. Oh, a 360.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Off play action. Booth. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 21. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Here we go. What?
To throw, Kaiser. And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So a tough spot for Kaiser. The sack, and now it's 3rd and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon, standing just outside his own goal line. This is fielded at the 27. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over. And we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks. He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the second quarter.
And how you get distinguished as a star is each and every week performing to a high level no matter what they throw at you, because you're always wanting to take him out of the game if you're a defensive team. How do you press him, double him, triple him, all those things? But the best players show up each and every week, solid games and some spectacular ones.
And he has showed up time and time again.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after, and it's 3rd down. The secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
He's letting it fly for Cooks. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, L.A. Brandon Cooks in the final seconds of the first half. And the Rams have got it on cruise control.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And so they run it in on the 2-point try. You know, so often, Charles, we talk about from the offense's perspective what you do on the 2-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2. They'll start out on the ground with Carson, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, we'll get
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Brandon Cooks and the rest of the offensive crew trotting back into place out there. And we get a peek at the kind of game he's having. It's been a good game. 8 catches now, Charles.
Everyone likes to spread the ball around. They want a lot of people to catch it and touch it, get a lot of guys involved. But sometimes when you have the hot hand or a person who's just really taking care of business in their part of the field, you have to keep going back to them.
Off the play fake. Booth. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there for L.A. 55 yards. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Brandon Cooks, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Rams just continue to pour it on. And with the rules as touchy as they can be, it's so hard to complete a diving catch in the end zone, but he just did it pretty well.
How about him getting his body, his hands, everything underneath and around the football without it hitting the ground and causing some doubt in the minds of the people who have to look at this and possibly review it. What a tremendous effort and a great catch.
Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Here we go. 190. 190.
Off the play fake, Kaiser. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL, I don't care.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And now the Rams have got it. Going the other way. 30, 10. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, L.A. And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football in his hand.
That's not just a short shuttle now. He took it and went a pretty good distance, didn't he? Did you get the 40 time on that?
I didn't, but he got 6 points out of it. I know that, and a great play for that defensive unit. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kicks away following that fumble return. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it. Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of pop.
And my goodness, another interception. He's picked off near his own 48, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Off play action. Booth. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Brandon Cooks with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And thanks to the interception, the Rams offense cashes in for 6. I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, I've lost track of how many times he's been in the end zone. This is just flat unbelievable.
Doesn't matter whether you have an abacus, a calculator, just old-fashioned pencil and paper trying to total it up. The number is staggering. What a performance. This man knows how to find the end zone and make it count.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Now it's Carson. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Tackled that time by Sidney Jones.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Kaiser from the gun on third. He finds his man, Baldwin. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better. They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
Well, they obviously red man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you
think.
mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and it curls back inside for the completion.
And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
This is Carson, and he'll get this one down to about the 17. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on second and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
That is caught at the 7. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. In for the score. And the Seahawks are able to get a score back. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
And we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks. A monster game so far, third quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers,
Absolutely.
though, who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A huge play that time for the Rams. And even 60 yards. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
Off the play fake. Boom. Forced out to his left. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Steps away to his left.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now Kaiser. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Carson. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here we go. What? Nothing. What? Nothing.
First down, Kaiser. Kaiser hit, and he lost the football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And he will score. Touchdown, L.A. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. Up big, and they go for 2, and they get it.
I remember being in high school and seeing an article in the paper where a local columnist had said, why are we fighting over sportsmanship and running up the score? Just run it up on everybody and deal with it. Some people just don't care that way, and obviously this coach feels the exact same way.
So that article was saying the defense should be able to stop them.
That's what they're trying to say. Hey, if you don't want it to happen, stop them. Otherwise, quit whining about it.
4 down, 4 down. Come on, let's go. Red 38. Red 38.
On 1st and 10, Kaiser. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. The 40. And great yardage here all the way deep into Los Angeles territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 59 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here's Kaiser. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag? You just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Brandon Cooks and the rest of the offensive crew trotting back into place out there. Sort of a slow and steady game so far, but reliable for him here in this 3rd quarter.
Sounds like we're describing a possession receiver, right? The one that finds a way to make the big catches, the ones that break the backs of defenses, keep first downs, accumulating. I think he's that and maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, he's been pretty good so far. We'll see if he can make this good game a great game. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right
Still
about
first down.
that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They go play action here on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play there for L.A. 74 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Staying on his feet, escapes the sail. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Seahawks have recovered.
This is really, really difficult for teams to coach because you love the extra effort, right? When he broke a couple of tackles, I mean, he was really trying to gain the extra yardage, but you also have to have an idea that people are going to come up behind you from the side, trying to take care of the ball while you're trying to get extra effort.
And Kaiser can't escape this time. They get to him, and that'll be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. It's going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. And we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks. He sort of just keeps chipping away at this defense. Hasn't had a spectacular game, but here in the third quarter, they've known all game long that he's there.
He's the type of guy that frustrates you if you're playing defense because
it's caught inside the 25. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. Off play action. Booth. His throw incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points. Go by.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Eric Ebron, his first touchdown on the year. And the Rams have got it on cruise control. Tavecchio good on the extra point. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
This fielded at the 2. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call.
Holding, receiving team.
Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
Let's go! Brad 38!
They'll run him now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Second down, Kaiser. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 20. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't.
And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Brandon Cooks with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year. And the Rams use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over. Back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
Ohio! Ohio! Hot! Hot!
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
And not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pickup. They really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. To the air again, Kaiser. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. Well, this ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is. And I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to talk.
He's got a man complete. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A huge play that time for the Rams. And even 60 yards. Now a play fake here on first down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Quan Alexander. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. To throw is Kaiser. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An out cut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football.
And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play there for L.A. 54 yards. Off the play fake. Boom. That is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Off play action. Booth. Stepping up, and he will score. Touchdown, L.A. It's their quarterback. He flat out can't be stopped. And the Rams just continue to pour it on. Oh, this is blocked. And maybe the defense caught a little by surprise there that he took off and got in?
Yeah, I would think so, because if you're analyzing it from that side of the ball, you're thinking running back, fullback. It takes you a while before you get to the quarterback.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Kaiser now throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll bring up a second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe
and my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Sidney Jones. Facing this fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. Off the play fake. Booth looking deep downfield. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on it at second down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. Third and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Uncorks one for Dick. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Rams have got it on cruise control. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter.
Here we go. What? 90.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Darren Lee in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 29. And they will take over at the 20. Yard line.
Well, you were backed up into a second and long, but instead of trying to get the yardage back in chunks, he's trying to get it all back at once. And this defense was just lying in wait, and they're there to pick this one off.
Off play action. Booth. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Off the play fake. Booth. They'll roll him out right. His throw caught at about the 5. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Off play action. Booth. Being chased out left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's nothing like pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
Looking to throw. Booth. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Did you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Come on, let's go. Red 38. Red 38.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a 2nd down throw for Kaiser. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. He got 29 yards that time. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On 2nd down, Kaiser again. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Here we go. White 90. White 90.
On 3rd down, Kaiser. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Carl Lawson able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Come on, let's go. White 90. White 90.
4th down, Kaiser, desperation time. Baldwin with it over the middle. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And it'll be a turnover on downs. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Back to throw. Boom. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The safety that time, Tony Jefferson there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. That one goes for 24 yards. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
He's going to loft one deep left side. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Kaiser now to throw on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A first down throw for Kaiser. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. And the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3.
Here we go. 190. 190.
They'll throw again. Kaiser. Well, Kaiser can't get away, and he'll go down. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. That one looks like he'll throw here. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by M.J. Stewart. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Let's go.
One final shot for Kaiser. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete.